It's been 2 years since I have a full night of sleep, and honestly, I can't even remember what it felt like to sleep through the night before becoming a mom. Some days I'm so tired with brain fog, like today, and yet I'm still here, still surviving. I'm still standing and still going. I'm taking it one day at a time. I nursed my son for a year and a half, and only recently he managed to sleep through the night. And when I think I could finally get a good night's sleep, and I promised myself never to put myself through this ordeal again, I got pregnant. And now I'm a mother of 2.
I told you, right? Mama and Diti.
After 16 weeks of maternity leave, I'm back at work and hopefully back at creating more YouTube videos. Today, I want to share my realization on how becoming a parent has shifted my outlook on life, career, and finances. I hope by sharing this, I could help someone out there, whether you're navigating your own journey, whether you're a parent, or just trying to figure things out. I want to sit next to mom. I'm recording a YouTube video. Yes, it's okay. The first lesson I learned is to live in the moment and focus what is important. But recently I realized something important. I was celebrating my first son's second birthday and this little guy's 100 days. Most of the time I was rushing here and there, trying to make sure that there's enough food for everyone, as well as the plates are being topped up and making sure that the guests are all happy. I was rushing from one task to another and I completely forgot to slow down, to enjoy that moment, that birthdays with my sons. So when I was younger, I realized that I was overtly focused on the future, trying to save the next $500,000 and then $1 million, trying to retire before I turn 50. But now with children, my mindset changed. I don't want to miss my child's first walk and his first words, and I want to slow down to savor every single moment because it's never going to come back. Now I am learning to let go of the unimportant things and to focus on what really matters. Playing with my son. Okay. Give me back my dick cat. I know. Yeah, this is a terrible tool right now. Motherhood challenges. Okay, let's take a break. Well, the next lesson I learned is what work-life balance meant to me. Now that my child is a toddler, I would say that he's like an energy bunny. He takes up so much of my energy, both physically and mentally.
I'm a one dog. Yeah. I'm hungry.
Hey. Okay, yes, okay. I don't need that. No, Mama is using this to record. Okay, bye-bye.
Alright, let's go find the monkey. Where's the monkey?
Thanks. Can't even record one sentence. Okay, sit here. Can you hold this for Mama first?
No.
That's why for me, I see work as a reset. It gives me structure and purpose outside of motherhood, allowing me to recharge so that when my toddler comes home, I can be fully present with him. And it's my version of balance. Going back to work after maternity is really tough. I can't help to feel bitter whenever I compare the amount of maternity leave we have in Singapore compared to developed nations. How is it possible for WHO to recommend 6 months of breastfeeding your child when you have to be back to work after 16 weeks in Singapore? The only way for this to work is that mom has to continue pumping at work to maintain their milk supply. So every day I'm actively choosing to leave behind the most important job of keeping my child alive and safe and happy and choosing to work. So therefore this choice to work has to be worth my while. And that's where I realized that I needed to prioritize and that I cannot afford to handle any nonsense or distractions. The lucky thing is that I still get to work from home, so I get to see my son and to save time on commuting. I also hire help to do the housework. For me, I would shut down completely after work, no communications, no phones, and focus with playing my child. Although right now it's really ironic that I'm recording a YouTube video where my child is playing. Hello, do you ask mommy? How do you ask mommy if you want a microphone? Mommy, please, can I have the microphone?
Microphone.
Mommy, please. Say again. Mommy, please.
Mommy, please.
Mommy, please.
Mommy, please.
Can I have the microphone?
Microphone.
Okay, you may have the microphone for a while. You have to return to mommy, okay? Hey, not funny, ah? Hello? Mama say no. Give back to mama. That's not the way to do this.
Melted.
It's very disgusting right now because there's mucus on it. Anyways, sometimes there's always a little voice in my head wondering whether am I doing enough? Am I spending too much time at work? And should I be playing with my son even more and nurturing him? Am I being a good mom by hiring a helper? These are all the thoughts that are always on my mind, and it's a constant tug of war. Okay, I'm back. So the next lesson I learned is that I learned what is true imposter syndrome and I learned how to be kinder to myself. I am failing on a daily basis. The other day, during bath time, my son had a meltdown and I was wondering why, if there's any problem with my communication with him, what does he not understand, what kind of mistake did I make that caused him to have a meltdown. I tried everything using gentle words, firm tone, gentle parenting, but nothing worked. In that moment, I felt lost and frustrated. And this is the real imposter syndrome that I face on a daily basis, not at work, but as a mom. I often worry whether am I teaching my child the right values and whether am I giving him the right kind of guidance so that he will become ready for this world. I was so frustrated with myself, but I took a step back that even though I failed to stop him from throwing the tantrum and having the meltdown, that it is all part of a learning process. And parenting is all about trial and errors. So that night I reflected, thought of another way to deal with him, and thank God on the next day when I tried the new method, it actually worked. And the next lesson that I learned is that it is possible to have it all, but not all at the same time. You see, toddlers are so amazing. They're so tiny and inexperienced, and yet they feel like and believe that they can do anything. They are learning every single day, and they get so frustrated whenever things don't go their way. And usually things don't go their way because, they're so small and things are outside of their circle of competence, right? So when I see my son getting so upset with his failure to use a chopstick, I thought he should chill, and I told him, you're just a little child, take time, learn, practice more. And for me, I am confident he will get this right. So as a parent, for me, I will try to teach him how to break this big thing, which is using a chopsticks, into little steps. And when he finally managed to use the chopstick during Chinese New Year for Lo Hei, he was so excited. I could see how proud he is. So this made me reflect on myself. When things don't go the way that I wanted, I am so frustrated with myself. I take a step back and think, maybe I'm like my son. Sometimes there are limitations to what I can do. I probably cannot do everything at the same time. But if I take time and prioritize, I'll be able to slowly, get everything done. And the thing is, social media seems like moms have it all. They can balance everything well, from their job, from their kid, from their hustle, from housework. But I realized that, that is an illusion. And of course, there's only one part of what people choose to show you in their social platform. Right now, I cannot give 100% to both my work and my family at the same time, and I feel that's okay. This season of life is for me to be present with my kids, and work and money can wait. I know they won't stay this young forever. Thankfully, I have built up enough career capital that my boss has been very understanding with me at work. So I have a very flexible work arrangement. Other than I'm still working from home, he also offered to give me more leave on top of what is mandated, like for in terms of childcare. And that's also on top of my annual leave as well. So even though my role and salary has been pretty much stagnant, and I believe probably will be quite stagnant in the next 2 years or so, I'm still very happy that I'm able to have this flexible work arrangement. The next thing I learn and understand is that enough is enough, and being happy with enough. Before having kids, it was all about me, my goals, my achievements, and comparing myself to others. Success was measured by how prestigious my job was, how much I earned. I thought that was what can make me happy, and I was happy. But now I realize that true happiness isn't about the chase, but rather that it is appreciating what you already have. So I have enough. I have enough love, enough time, and enough joy to in the little moments, especially with children. And that's all I really need to feel fulfilled. Recently, I read a book called Welcome to Nam Dong Bookshop. It is about a woman who runs a bookshop and how it impacts her life as well as the people who visited her bookshop. And for me, I love this quote from the book. Even if it's not every day or often, there are moments in life where we come to think that's good enough. In that moment, all the anxiety and worries melt away, leaving us with the realization that we've done our best to get where we are. I spent my earlier part of my life chasing for more money, more achievements, more validation, because that is what the society celebrates. But now my definition of enough changed. Enough for me is having time to watch my children play. Enough is being able to afford things that I need without constantly striving for more. Enough is knowing that I do not have to prove myself to anyone. Therefore, the yardstick to measure success does not come from anyone, but rather from within. I learned to take care of myself mentally, even with the hectic life that I'm leading right now. I try to find moments where I can fill my own cup, which is creating, like either creating a video or even journaling on my journal. So I do have a journal, my book here, where I write my thoughts. Yeah, so last year, sometime around this period, I was struggling with postnatal depression, and I felt so helpless and lost in grief after my grandfather passed on. Till now, I still have some negative memories whenever I hear, or the memory will rather come back whenever I hear the sound of an ambulance. When I revisited my journal during the period, it is quite dark and difficult. Yeah. I want to I want to forget it all, but at the same time, sometimes I want to forget it all so that the pain is easier to manage. And even now, now I learned that having an outlet, be it with writing, creating, or even sharing my thoughts like what I'm doing right now, helps me to stay grounded. And that's why I'm here to pick this channel up as a personal project for myself. And if, in my journey, it can resonate anyone out there, then this is worth it for me. So while my journey as a parent continues to teach me valuable lessons every day, I've learned one key thing is that it's okay to take a step back, to be a bit kinder to yourself, to focus on what truly matters, and to let go of the constant pressure to do it all. I may not have everything figured out, but I'm doing my best, and that is enough.